Hi, everybody. It's lovely to have you back again in the Uplift My Life Today podcast channel. For those of you who are new here, let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Astuti Marto Sudirjo. I am the holder of Uplift My Life Today transformational space and also the host of this channel. I actually work with many individuals from many corners of the world who decided to embody love and authenticity in their lives. And this is the reason why I decided to open this podcast channel and also to create a series called Love Wins. And you are about to be or to join me in one of those episodes. What is Love Wins? Love Wins is a collection of stories of really courageous individuals who has started off in their lives feeling less than loving themselves. They are so courageous to embark on a very deep quest within themselves to change this. And every story that you hear in this series is very unique. Every person starts in a unique starting point, and every path is actually very unique. So grab your cup of coffee, tea, glass of wine, or maybe just water, so you and enjoy this conversation that I am about to host right now. And I can tell you that a big perk of my job is to see the unfolding of the beautiful essence of these individuals. It's a very humbling experience. That's why I want you to hear it from them. So before I start, and I would like to ask your help, which is to share this story as far and wide as possible. The world needs wonderful, loving stories, and I have a lot of them. So please do subscribe to the channel, share and like this episode, and also share these episodes. So today with me, I have a wonderful gentleman who is currently in Indonesia. His name is Adiyoga Anggoro. Hi, Yoga.
Hi Mbak Ade. Hi everybody.
Well, it's lovely to see you here. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. First of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Everybody
Thank
says
you so
happy
much.
birthday to Yoga. Yoga, this today is Yoga's birthday, his 36th birthday. So, Yoga, I have a question before we kick
Mm.
off the whole conversation. If
Yeah.
you were
Yeah. Yeah.
to,
Please.
if you were to write an autobiography about your first 36 years
Mm.
of life, what would be the title of it?
Woo. What would be the title? Um, the title would be Bloom.
Bloom. I love that. I love it. Okay, this is a
Yeah.
good
Yeah. Yeah.
segue into your story,
Mm.
Yoga. I'm not gonna ask you right now why you would name it
Yeah.
Bloom. I'm gonna have you tell the
Yeah.
story and so that it makes sense for us. Okay, good.
Mm.
I am just dying to start now. So
Yeah.
let me share a
Let's
few
go.
words about Yoga and I. Yoga and I think we crossed paths in the year of
Mm.
2021. Am I correct?
21. Yeah.
Yes, 2021. And at the time, Yoga was living in Singapore, and Yoga had been recommended to me with a very unique starting point, which was at the time he was diagnosed or experiencing a rare disease called Cushing syndrome. So that's is the beginning of
Mm.
our interaction. So Yoga,
Yes.
please
Mm.
start telling us the story. Okay, tell me more about this rare disease and how it
Uh,
impacts your life.
yeah. Um, First of all, thank you, Madi, once again. Yeah, we did meet on mid of 2021. I got referred by a my best friend for 20 years, Soraya. So we've been friends for 20 years, and we became friends since high school. And then there must be a reason why we keep in touch until today, right? And then she was the one who introduced me to Madi, and then we started our journey from that. So by the time I met Madi, I was fresh out of the operation table.
Mm,
I had brain surgery. So I had a pituitary adenoma in my pituitary gland. So the way it impacted my body is it crashes the whole system. It elevates the my cortisol level up to 14% of the normal people. And as we know that cortisol is needed, yes, it is a stress hormone, yes. But why did it have to go up until 14 times higher? And that's the question.
right.
Um, please bear in mind that I've done by that time I've done all the necessary things. I went to the doctor. I went to the best set of doctors in Singapore. I had a panel of doctor which included five different doctors, endocrinologist, neurosurgeon, and three others. And then but after the surgery, they told me that, oh, you should be feeling the improvement in 1 to 6 weeks time. But I did not feel that.
Mhm.
And that's why I did. That's why I went to Madi. Um, and by the time I was kind of trying to figure out what's happening actually in my body. Is it only physical? Is it only on the superficial layer? Is it only just on the meat and bones? Um, I was really thankful. I think the background story of this meeting too is that because I've been practicing yoga for since 2012, so 12 years ago.
Mhm.
And that's when I started to find that, oh, there is that connection between the mind and the body and the spirit and the soul,
Right.
right? And then, so with what happened to me on the physical level, I tried to understand more and more about myself. So I started to read about epigenetics,
Mm.
the connection between the behavior and the physical illnesses as well. And then when I was in the journey with my day, it was a really really wonderful journey. To me it's not just a one-time thing. It was a whole process of uncovering what's actually lying underneath everything.
Mhm.
So it is a whole beautiful process of me um, unraveling and uncovering one by one, layer per layer per layer. Yes, I do. Maybe I do understand that. Oh, the ancient yogis, they believe that, oh, there are five different layers in the body.
Mhm.
I know theoretically, but until I experience it myself, and with the help of Made as well, we were we were we were giving tender love and care to
Yeah.
each layer of the body that needs that. So whether it's on the emotional, whether it's on the mental, and it's all interconnected. That's the beauty of life. It's not there. There is no separation between the mind and the body and the spirit and your emotional state as well. So I think it is what is missing in the allopathy medicine right now. We can just to me as a patient as someone who had a pituitary tumor, um, the way the way the Western world approach the illness is that, oh, it's really on the physical, but we have to be able, and we have to be open and expand our ability to see that there are things
Mm.
beyond this physical body.
Yeah.
There are things that we cannot see. There
Yeah.
are things that some of us call it energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a very, very profound journey with it is a rare disease that it is not very common, I suppose. We in Singapore it was rare, in Indonesia too, all over the world. It is a rare disease. Um, the and the most beautiful thing about this disease is that this disease has 20 symptoms,
Mm.
from muscle weaknesses, osteoporosis, diabetes, obesity, um, until depression,
Mhm.
So it's impacting every single thing in your body. And then I feel at some point, why do I really need to feel all of this 20 different symptoms? When
Yeah.
I look when I look all of the symptoms right now, yes, every single symptoms is trying to tell me something about
Mhm.
my condition, about the layers that I need to work on. But the most beautiful thing is that I experience all the symptoms so I can help others.
Mm.
And I think so when I talk to my current clients, when I talk to people um, that needs help as well, maybe I can say, maybe I wouldn't be able to feel what they feel, but I think for me, I feel I have the ability to put myself in their shoes as well.
Mhm. Mhm. Your empathetic muscles grown a lot because of
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
experienced. Yes.
yeah.
And as we know, yoga,
I went to an empathy gym.
and as you know, working in the field that you are now, and which we're going to talk about
Yeah,
soon,
yeah.
uh, empathy, the existence of empathy in the connection is already allowing healing to take
Mhm.
place, because you know the
Yeah,
body itself is
yeah,
very, very powerful, you know. And so yeah, this is a beautiful way of putting it. I remember the parts that you were doing, yeah, the parts of
mhm.
our time to working together. You were very dedicated. You were very dedicated, and I love that about you. I think there was a combination in the beginning of like desperation, of course. It's like I'm so desperate to understand what is going
Yeah,
on
yeah,
and
yeah,
how can
yeah,
I deal with this. But also, I think you turn this desperation into,
yeah,
okay, then let me just learn what I need, what I can learn, and learn what I need to learn, and do the work,
yeah,
the homework that is being asked
mm,
to do in between sessions. And
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
powerful transmutation of energy, right? And so could you share a little bit more about this particular, from moving from desperation into now beauty and empowerment?
Mm, mm. All I can say that it was not an easy job. It is not an easy job
No.
to shift that perspective.
Yeah.
And so I think 2021 to 2024. So we've been kind of know each other for 3 years right now, and then I think the whole story of me walking together with my illness
Yes.
it's been 5 years, about 5 years. Desperation, yes. Um, but I think to me, it was a good call. It was a good reminder for me. It was a good reminder that I had to be reminded. I had to be reminded um, to wake me up,
Mm-hmm.
to wake
Mm-hmm.
me up. I think maybe I have the same story with most of the viewers as well. I lived my life peacefully, or so I thought,
Yeah.
right? I had a good life, and then out of the sudden, boom, I got ill.
Mhm.
Without 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 understanding that what I did previously was maybe the majority of the things that I did was not healthy
Mm.
to me,
Mm.
physically, mentally, emotionally.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, it is the whole process of shifting and making and creating small habits.
Mhm.
And also, there are so many other things that work in parallel at the same time. You have to all. I think one of the biggest homework that I did was to able to love myself and to forgive myself, to
Mm.
love others and to forgive others.
Mhm.
And 'cause it's just um, it helps me to keep going and going and going. So I think the desperation was kind of a wake up call. It's
Mhm.
I remember that when I was looking for the answers,
Yeah.
like fresh from the operation room, and then so what do I do now?
Right.
I don't feel well. I still feel all the aches in my body, my blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. But that time I was like, I need to heal myself as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I put deadlines on my healing journey.
Yes. Yes.
By so for example, in 3 months' time, I have to be able to walk straight again.
Yes.
But that was not the case.
Yes.
That was not
Yes.
the case. And it's just adding adding the gasoline to the fire
Right.
to the desperation
Yeah.
to the desperation. And then I
Yes.
yeah, so in parallel, when I did my sessions with Mbade, I also I have my own self practice as well.
Mhm.
The small little things that I do every single day. I pray, I meditate, I do yoga. I'm getting in touch with my breath, and I think that's also very, very helpful for me to survive. Um, because at the end of the day, we are our own healer, and we have the most powerful ability to help myself, and also I'm talking about the willingness and the drive to move forward, right? All the healers can help us, but if you don't do your homework, you won't go anywhere. You
Yeah.
won't go anywhere. So I yes, the desperation was there. It was a wake up call, and slowly with another depth of desperation of the question why, all the whys, why
Yeah.
me, why am I not healed yet?
Yes.
Why am I not healed yet? And it's kind of, to me, it's just crazy to me. Why would you put more pressure on yourself
Yeah. Yeah.
for something that is not feasible even?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are not, you're not racing against anybody.
Right. Right.
And then with the understanding of, yes, we can heal ourselves. We can try to work our best. We can always try to be the best version of ourselves, but healing might not be finished
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
end of our life.
I
So
yeah.
yeah,
I still remember, but because I pay attention to these things, right?
yeah, yeah,
I still and of course, from a facilitator perspective, and when a client comes in such a state, you cannot say
yeah,
I cannot just say yoga, let go. No, it's not possible, right? There
yeah,
is a reason why the
yeah,
person is holding on. But so I pay attention to the undertone of how you you share things over the over the period that we worked together, and I still remember
Yeah.
there is a shift in you of at some point from especially when you just did a blood test. It's always like,
Mm.
but the level is still this, in the beginning it was like, oh, and
Yeah.
at the end it was like, the blood test is this, you know. So, so I
Yeah.
know just by how you are connecting to the information you get from the blood test. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just the blood test. You have
Yeah.
different meetings with doctors, and so that it's clear for everybody. Yoga is doing both. He was doing the medical approach as well as the energetic approach. So
Yeah.
I personally love that idea because it's a combination of different layers of human, right? So of human energy. But I remember that shift, Yoga, and I was like, good, he's coming. He's coming there's a growth inside him to be able to connect to these test numbers differently, and
Mm.
I'm glad that this is a reflection point, right? Like there's no deadline. There is no deadline. There is, of course, a perceived urgency because you were in pain. You're physically in pain, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I remember there was also another big decision that you had to make, which is change country. And the question of,
Mm.
can I work or not? So yes, there is a there is a uncontrollable, invisible things that is creating havoc in my body. But there's also other important decisions,
Yeah.
like, am I staying in Singapore? Where am I going if I'm not
Yeah.
here? All these things. So would you share
Yeah.
a little bit more about this?
Yeah, as I mentioned previously, so there were tons of shifts in my day-to-day life
Yeah.
actually, and it was all conscious decisions
Hmm.
that I had to make them. Um, to move back from Singapore to Indonesia. So I spent a good year in Bali before I settled back down in Jakarta again. One of the main reason is that I live alone in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have my close friends there, but they have their own things to deal with, right? And I don't have family, I don't have caretakers, and by I think the end of 2021, I decided to, okay, maybe it's time for me to receive and to accept help
Hmm.
from the others, from my family. Um, so I've been away since I was 17. So
Hmm.
when I moved to college, when that's when the first time I moved out from the house. And then I kind of okay, maybe this is the right time for me to receive help. That was the
Yeah.
main idea. That was
Right.
the main idea, to live under the same roof again with my family. And little did I know that decision, it opened up another door of healing.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yes, Singapore and Jakarta is not that far. I can go back home once a month, maybe, or twice a month. But I was never here. I was never emotionally here. I was
Mhm.
never present to
When you
to my family
visited Jakarta.
when I
Yeah.
visited.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so it was at the beginning. It was very. I adapted my adult self to be living under the same roof again, and my
Mhm.
family might do the same too. But then the doors or the windows of healing were open. When I say this, it's because maybe there were a lot of things that we as a family, we didn't really discuss, we didn't really talk about. We just have the tendency to just um to just sweep it under the rug. And maybe for me, this is myself reconnecting back to my family, especially both of my parents. Yes, they are aging, and I do feel like there are some healing work that needs to be done
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
in a sense of my relationship with them,
Yeah.
my relationship with them. And then right now, so from the beginning of 2023 until now, it's a long, I would say it's a long and um, a very beautiful journey of the reconnection with my parents,
Mm-hmm.
which involves self-love
Mm-hmm.
to myself, um, forgiveness to myself and
Mm-hmm.
to them, and to be able to look at things as it is, and also with the eyes of compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe I would say about it. When I started my healing journey, I had the tendency of like, oh, so this illness is from my parents.
Yeah.
I inherited everything from my parents. So
Yeah.
it's just easy. It was just easy for me to just point fingers
Yeah.
on them. And this is your fault. I'm this way. Right. But then when I go deep to all of my practices to and deepen my understanding on the relationship to my parents and also about forgiveness and compassion. I feel like they are also they are also experiencing something they might not want,
Mm-hmm.
right? It might be inherited from their parents, which is my grandparents, maybe from my great grandparents, all the way up there.
Yeah.
So it's just not fair for me to blame, right?
Yeah.
And rather I kind of I decided to shift my perspective as well.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to to be in the same room with them, to share a meal with them
Mm-hmm.
with love
Yeah.
and compassion.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember our
Mm.
conversation, many conversations about
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
idea of coming back to
Yeah.
Jakarta from Bali.
Yeah.
And and it was really beautiful because I think I do believe that at the time when we were talking about it, you conceptually, mentally can accept that
Yeah.
it is a
Yeah.
moving, it's a healing movement, right? We said, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff to get ready for in the heart. And it's this
Yeah.
goal of as simple as sitting with them on a meal together with a lot of love and compassion. This sounded very
Yeah.
simple, but this is very big goal. It's very
Yeah.
big goal. So well done, yoga. Well done. But yeah, it took it
Yeah.
and this is what the reason why I'm bringing this up is really because there's no shame in saying it's hard to say it's
Mm.
it's hard because of the kind of relationship I had with whoever that you want to reconnect back for so many years. I want to make that shift, and sometimes the process can feel too much, right? And it's okay to say that, and it's as long as you stay put with the efforts, right? With the intention. I keep
Mm.
at it. It's hard, and I want to cry. I want to I want to get upset about it, and all these
I
things.
cried.
Yes, yes. And but this is beautiful because for me,
Yeah.
yoga, this is a part of coming home, right? Coming home,
Mm.
yes, it's coming home back to you, and this is why your journey is so beautiful because it's also coming back home to your family, to family your family system. And how do you feel about that from the perspective of coming back home to the family system, physically and energetically?
Yeah. Um, I think there was one step before that that I did internally.
Yeah.
Um, before I moved back to under the same roof with my family, I had to be able to feel home in my body first.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
So the my time in Bali was about coming back home to myself, coming
Yeah.
back home to my physical body.
Yeah.
That this is the safest and the most comfortable place for me to live in right now in this lifetime. And
Mhm.
I had to work on that. I had to take yoga trainings, blah 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 blah, whatever. But it was needed. It was needed for, I think, to me, with I call it the saga, actually, the the pituitary saga. After that saga ended, everything kind of soothes down, and then I took I opened up myself to help, for me to be able to come back to my own body. And so once I feel settle and I feel safe in my own body, then I decided to move back
Mhm. Yeah.
to my parents' house.
Yes. First step before the family
Yeah,
system,
because
the
I
home
know,
first. Yes.
yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Because I think when we feel safe and we are grounded and anchored in our own body, um, everything else will just come and go, actually. You
Mhm.
just like the world will just keep moving, right? And
Yeah.
then, but when you have a solid anchor, you're rooted down to the ground. I think that's the key. That's the key. And to me, it was again like many phases, many healing phases that I faced previously. Moving back home was not easy.
Mhm.
But but right now I can see the light. I can see the shift in my relation to my parents and their relationships to me in with my siblings. Even outside the house, even the way I operate to my friends right now, to my ex right now, for
Right.
example. So
Yeah.
everything follows. Everything follows when you first bring the attention back to your body, to your heart.
Yeah.
And you know that it's not we always have the tendency to, oh, I need to look love from the outside, but in my journey I feel like I need to feel that love from the inside first.
Yes.
I need to feel the love from the inside. So when I finally have the ability to find and to feel the expansion, the expansion of my heart, I feel like the world follows that
Yeah.
and gives me and shower me with new friends, with new community, with a new tribe, um with new connections that are fulfilling even. So yeah,
What is it that you
it's
discover?
very beautiful, I think.
Yes. Sorry. What is it that you discover yoga to be the reason why you didn't feel safe in your body? I'm assuming you discover many things.
Yeah, yeah. And it's very interesting because I'm going to tie this back to my illness.
Right.
Um, so the pituitary tumor in my pituitary gland lifted my cortisol level to 14 times higher. Cortisol is a stress hormone. When someone is in flight or fight mode, right? So
Right.
the question is why do I have to feel and why do I have to be in fight or flight all the time, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, because I did not feel safe in my body. Because I
Mhm.
did not feel safe in my body. It is also probably there are thousands of reasons because there are thousands of reasons why didn't I feel safe in my body. But like life experiences, my childhood trauma, all the inherited uh, all the inherited trauma from both sides of my parents, past lives.
Yes.
And yeah, so that is that's very interesting that safety as the base, it's in the root chakra, the first chakra, the base of your spine,
Mhm.
the very fundamental thing. I did not have it in my body.
Mhm.
I did not feel safe. So
Mhm.
without that, it will the whole my whole system will just be in chaos,
Yeah.
right? So if I can share, growing up, I always feel like um, I am always the outlier. I don't have any clique. Um, I'm a single fighter all the time. It's me against the world.
Mm.
Um, Also, being different is a big part of this as well. I am gay, and it is hard. It is hard. It is hard for me to live my truth in this country. People will look down to you. People will say will call you names and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. It's not just on the it's not just from the society, but also from your parents, your cousins, your family members as well.
Yeah.
It is hard. So growing up, I think one of the biggest reason the on the 3D world to
Yeah.
me, to not being able to feel safe in my body, that the fact that I I was fighting my whole life.
Right.
I don't really it's not my place for me to stand out because I am gay,
Right.
because I will be limited. I have all the limitations because people will look down to me because I am less than the others,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, so I kind of quote unquote trained in that stigma, in that behavior my whole life. Since I was maybe the first bullying I received was when I was 5.
Yeah.
I remember that, and then it's up until today, up until now.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process of internalizing. And to me, it's 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 12 years ago when I moved away, um, far away from Indonesia, and I feel like that was also the calling for me um, to question myself. Who
Mhm.
am I really? Who
Yeah.
am I really? Step by step, layer by layer. And then 2012, I accepted myself for who I am. And I don't question anymore. I don't
Yeah.
question why do I have to be gay?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I accept myself. I don't want to hurt myself. I
Yeah.
don't want to hurt people.
Yeah.
I don't want to follow the societal, the religion systems just because. I need to be able to stand for my own, stand for my own truth.
Yeah.
And that's very very liberating. I came out to my parents
Mhm.
on 2018. 2018.
How was that?
They but until today
Sensitive topic.
it's still an art to navigate
Yes.
the reactions the reactions, right? But
I
like
like how you say it is
to
about
me, but
navigation approaches. I like that. I like that a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, but to me it's not about their acceptance
Sure.
anymore. It's
Yeah.
not about the societal and religious acceptance anymore. It's if I had to wait for the acceptance from them, when would I live my life truly fully? That's the
Yeah.
question, right? Um, so I kind of liberated myself. I don't care what people think. I don't care
Mhm.
what people say. I don't care about what you think of me. I
Mhm.
let you think. I let you be.
Mhm.
I don't really, I don't, this is as long as I don't hurt anybody,
Yeah.
as long as I don't say bad things, as long as I don't gossip, as long
Yeah.
as I don't do bad things, fine. Love is love,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's kind of to me, there is, so I have to be able to find that fine line between between appreciating their presence, my family, my parents, people around me, with non-acceptance, and also this is me, the version of me who, as someone who honors his truth,
Mhm.
and also it's also it's always finding the balance in between those two. Um, and I believe that it's, yeah, with compassion, with love, I can only navigate that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm just gonna keep I'm just gonna keep trying and asking and maybe hating them.
Yeah. Yeah. Resenting. Yeah.
It's not healthy for myself.
Mhm.
It's just gonna burn me down. And I don't want that. I forgive myself. I look at them with the eyes of compassion for me to be able to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to honor you, Yoga, for this choice. You amazing because it's all about the choice, right? And I think in transformation, if people ask me what is actually transformation, it's about you making series of choices and be consistent to the choices. That's what it is about.
Hmm.
And to process the emotion that comes up
Yeah.
with your decisions.
Yeah.
Again, another decision, again,
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
This and nonstop. And but this is what
Exactly.
life. But this is what life
Yeah.
is. It's a
Yeah.
series
Yeah.
of choices.
Yeah.
Very simplistically
True.
put, right?
Very, very true.
Yeah. So I would like to honor you because I haven't been living in Indonesia for, I'm just counting back, 23 years. When I left Indonesia in 2001, LGBT was not even a topic that existed,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
was, nobody talks
Yeah.
about it. Nobody even,
Yeah.
I don't think people, apart from the one who are LGBT, most of the people didn't even think it exists, right? So,
Yeah.
but I also noticed that in those 2 decades, a bit more than 2 decades, the society also changes, and not
Mm.
to be more open necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the society that I grew up in was much more open than it is today because
Yeah.
of the pressure to be religious, right? So I've never experienced it firsthand because I haven't lived there, but I'm hearing a lot, right? So I would like to
Mm.
honor your courage to
Yeah.
say, yes, this is the environment
Yeah.
I'm in. This
Yeah.
is also part of my reality. I am part of
Yeah.
this system, and I am choosing to love myself enough to strengthen my inner muscle to choose still to be who I am. And
Yeah.
so I would just
Yeah.
love to honor you for that. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. And so, well done, Yoga. Well done. So, there's so much that I wanted to ask more, but I want to ask you,
Mm.
what did you
Mm.
learn? Okay, first of all, let me rephrase that. How are you health
Mm.
wise now? And
Mm.
what did you learn from these journeys of healing so far?
Mm. Mm. I have one sentence to answer that question. Um, I read somewhere. I'll give credits to whoever um to whoever, but I'm really sorry, I cannot remember who. That um well-being is not the absence of illness.
I love
So
that.
it's more like when you see health as a circle, you see physical, you see emotional, you see mental as well. So to me right now, if you ask me health wise, referring to body, um, I still feel very tender, very, very tender. I need to take care of myself. I need to pay attention to the amount of activities that I can do throughout the week. I have really um, really arrange my meetings and my schedule and my sleeping patterns as well, and my nutrition. Um, I am physically still there. There are still room for improvement for my physical body,
Mm-hmm.
but on the emotional, as I mentioned previously, my heart is I've never I've never felt this spacious in my whole life, in my whole life. And I've never felt the mental clarity like right now at this very moment. It is mostly calm. Yes, there are fluctuations, yes.
Sure. Yeah.
I honor that too, but like mostly calm. So I don't think it is wise to just judge your health based on your physical
Mm-hmm.
state, because there are a lot of things that you can see, and it depends on how you want to put your perspective to well-being. And it might not be so the it is like a game, right? Do I want to pursue my optimum health to 100% and set deadlines again like few years ago or
Yes.
not? And then I decided not to put any deadlines, and
Mm-hmm.
not to put any deadlines. I keep working on building my strength. I went back to the gym again. I lift heavy again. I lift heavier right now before the illness.
Lovely.
Um, and then I only consume real food
Mm-hmm.
or close to the its original form. I go out again. I go to parties. I get I grab drinks with my friends. I'm having fun, and all that uh all that small changes actually, uh those are very beautiful to me, because I don't see I don't see this as a race anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see my health, physical health, as something that I need to win. Um, it is something that I need to work on every single day, every single day. And when I am spacious in my heart, I'm calm in my head, I believe that the body will follow that.
Mm-hmm.
The body will follow that. Even if the body not follow will not follow the mind and the heart, maybe that's just my gift, right? To feel and to be calm in my head. So I think that it's a very it took me a while to land on that understanding that health is really not
Mm-hmm.
just your physical, but you really have to work on that. You have to take care of the body, yes, but it's not up to us. It's not up to us. So I kind of, dear universe, I've done my best.
Yes. Yes.
I've done my best. I'm just going to flow flow with your plan right now.
Yeah. So it's a collaboration efforts in for your well-being. So you do your part,
Exactly.
in the best way, and then
yeah,
you surrender
yeah.
to the invisible hands to help you bring in something for your overall well-being beyond your physical health,
Yeah,
right? That's what I'm
yeah,
hearing.
yeah, yeah. And I
So
I read I think it's in one of Gabor Mate's book. Uh, we so as a soul, we before we jump into the earth, we've signed a contract. Um, we've signed a contract, right? And then, oh, this is what you're gonna do, blah 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 blah. This is what's gonna happen to you, and then it's all signed. And then boom, it's you appear on this earth, right? Maybe I signed something about my physical condition, about all the challenges, all the people that I'm crossing path with. Um, Maybe a long time ago, it's been signed. I signed that.
yes.
So why don't I just flow and just follow,
Hmm.
just be who I am without the need of without the need of having that fixated idea of targets and goals and I want this, I want that, I
Yeah.
want this by that time. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
You are you. This is what I would like to say to this. No, being
Yeah,
a go getter myself, a high achiever myself,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
I would like to say that
yeah.
you are also a very your soul is an ambitious soul, right? It's a high achiever soul. This is why it takes on what it did, what you're
Yeah.
experiencing, and the journey is actually to learn a different way to achieve.
Mm.
It's a very different way to achieve and a smarter
Yeah, yeah,
way to
yeah.
achieve.
Yeah.
Because I think
And there
go
is a
on, go on.
softer way.
Yeah.
There's a softer way to achieve things.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And I think both you and I had a burnout, you had this illness. Um, we are still the same person. We are still the same person, and we are still relating to goals and growth and achievements in the same intensity, but we are choosing a much more smart smart way, the way that is much more ease, that allows us to move actually quote unquote faster without knowing it's actually faster, right? And
Mm.
we are choosing also the path, and it's a hard way to get to this path where there is much less resistance. We are going with the flow much more than against the flow. And I think,
Mm. Mm.
and I would like to highlight this because it's not that suddenly you and I are not being
Yeah.
this high achiever anymore. Our soul is the same soul. I said, my soul is still the same soul. It has its plan. It has this ambition level, quote unquote. So is yours. We are just
Mm.
guided through this shaking you in a form of Cushing syndrome, and I'm in a form of, and I was in a form of burnout to change it. And that's the soul growth. That is a
Yeah.
fundamental shift in relating to the world and in owning your place, our
Mm.
places, our spaces in this life. Because and I could imagine that we feel much more grounded and much more whole because this is the right way for us, for what our soul wants to
Mm.
grow in the way that it wants to grow, right?
Yeah.
So so yeah, so I just would like to, but no more deadlines now.
So whatever.
I love that. Out of the window. We just
Out of the window.
wait. Yeah, okay. We just wait for the guidance. We move when the
Yeah,
guidance
yeah,
comes.
yeah,
We
yeah,
rest when the body needs
yeah,
rest, etc.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So what do you
True.
do right
True.
now, yoga, professionally? What did you do before
Mm.
the illness, and what do you do now?
I was doing marketing. I was doing digital marketing,
Okay.
and then on the side, I started to teach as well. That's right before the illness to teach
Yes.
yoga,
Great.
um, and then right now, um, I'm focusing myself on sharing, and I guess I can say that everything that I do right now is on the wellness industry.
Mhm.
So I teach yoga and meditation, public classes and private one-on-one as well. And then aside from that, I do also have one-on-one clients.
Mhm.
Um, I do practice a number of different modalities. So
Mhm.
from oracle card reading, Reiki, and also transformational alchemy, which is homeopathy as well.
Yeah.
And I feel I started my sharing journey as a yoga teacher. I remember that I felt the joy I've never felt before when I finished teaching. It's
Mhm.
still the same every time I teach public classes. Every time I teach one-on-one, every time I finish a session with my client, it's still the same. There's this joy in sharing and helping people.
Yeah.
So I think that is also one of the learnings that I can get from this journey is that all this wisdom and all this knowledge that I receive from my teachers, from my healers, from Ade as well, it's not just for me to keep myself. Maybe I am the vessel. All the knowledge and the wisdom has to flow through
Mhm.
again to more and more and more people, so people can understand, so people can help themselves,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I think so I decided to be in um, in the journey of helping others. Maybe maybe triggered by what happened to me, maybe because of the illness. Yeah, but then um, the more I understand, the more I understand why it's me. Why did I have to be? Why did I feel this illness? Why did I have this illness? It's also a journey for me to also find my purpose, to maybe to tell my story this way in this podcast like this, maybe in practicing yoga, in practicing pranayama meditation, or maybe it's one-on-one consult. So I feel that the shape and the form can be anything. Where I'm here because of my physical illness. I don't really know whether this physical body can hold me to teach public classes, teaching
Mhm.
yoga, meditation, big classes, 20, 40 people in the next 3 to 5 years. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Mhm.
Maybe I will still share. Maybe it has to shape shift to something else. So it can be anything. It can be anything, but I understand and I know that um, I would love to share more and more to people.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It's really beautiful. And also, yoga, I remember from the time we were working together, and correct me if this is the right word to describe what I
Yeah.
remember about what happened with you, is that I remember your intuitive ability magnified during this healing process. I don't know if is it the right term to use?
Yeah, maybe we can use that. We can go with that.
Okay. So how would you then describe it? Because it changed, right? Is that right? Is that right? Because I was perceiving it.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So, so backstory. I was always a sensitive kid.
Hmm.
So when I was 5, 6, 7, I had a lot of deja vus, and I feel like I've been here before. I feel like I've known this guy. I feel like this circumstance has been happening to me previously.
Hmm.
And then I told my parents back then, and they didn't they did not respond. And then also I am also sensitive to people. So
Mhm.
for example, I remember I told my mom that when I was with her, I don't like that guy. I don't like that person. Why? I don't I don't know. I just don't like this guy. And then when I was in school, it happened a couple of times as well. So there was this person walking, and then I was talking to a friend, and and then my friend said, "Oh, they're really nice person." And then I told her, "But I don't think they are." And then it turned out that they they
They
were
weren't.
not really nice at the end. But then life happened. Life happened. Too busy with all the material world, right? And then busy with the day-to-day life. I kind of um, I did not. I maybe neglect is the right word. I kind of
Mhm.
put it aside. I did not listen to my intuition. Even even in relationship as well, because I should have known. I should have known if I was in a bad relationship, I should have known that. I could have feel it, right?
Yeah.
But I neglected that, and I didn't use it. I didn't use it. So by the time with illness, with this illness, and I think it's I was feeling like I was walking through
Mhm.
a very, very dark forest without any lights. That's where I feel that I need something to lean on. I need something to trust. Um, I deepen my connection with the divine,
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, the divine, the greater power out there. I I started to connect more and deeper with him, um, and then and then and then that's when my intuition kind of sparked again. And
Mhm.
also with the sessions with the sessions with Madi, it's kind of like it's adding the other layer of, oh, this is who I really am. I am a sensitive soul who can feel.
Yes.
um I don't know if I should say that I am a highly sensitive person, but I do feel a lot of things. I do feel a lot of things that I had to kind of consistently and consciously making sure, like this is my energy, that's yours energy, that
Mm.
is your energy, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want your energy to interfere with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so at some point in my healing journey, I had to do that. But right now, it's kind of like I am who I am. I'm not going to interfere yours, and I hope that you are not going to interfere my 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 field. Yes, intuition is it is a very, very powerful thing. Um, all I can share about it is that when you are maybe I'd like to hear this from you as well. Maybe when you are very, very, very deep in your healing journey, you 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 kind of you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do next. You don't know what next be. You don't know you know nothing basically. You know nothing, right? You know nothing. And then all you can do is just I trust the divine,
Mhm.
and let my intuition guide me at some point in my life, even before. So this is I remember I recall this. It was um early in our first few sessions before I moved to Bali. What I was saying to the divine, to myself, to my intuition was, um, show me the sign. Let me see it with my eyes. Let me hear it with my ears. Let me taste it with my mouth. Let me feel it on my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what should I do?
Mm-hmm.
What should I
Mm-hmm.
do? And when you surrender and you trust that there is this greater power out there working for you, through you,
Mm-hmm.
the answers came. The answers came. Oh,
Yeah.
go to well, find this, find that, find this, find that, do this, do that. Yep,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
Mm. So
Exactly.
without being led with my intuition, I don't know, maybe because to me, asking around to my friends, they wouldn't know the answers
No.
too,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Exactly. um, at some point in life, I think I also like you when I was going through. I was also sensitive child. At 4, I stopped. I was like, stop, no more. And I only recall it back like in my 40s, like, oh my God, that was. So what happened was, yes. So what happened was, my father was in a car accident around the age of, when I was around the age of 4, and it was a severe car accident. We got the information that somebody died in this car, in this accident. And for some reason, my mother was under the impression that it was my father who passed away. And it was traumatizing. And then we realized it was not him. And, at the time, this was in the 70s, right? There's no mobile phone. So we had to wait for hours to know what happened. And I think that was the last time that do not want, I find it very overwhelming because the kind of information that I get when I was younger is like, oh, this person is going to die. These kind of things. And I never told my parents about it when I was 8. My mother's mother brought up this conversation of her saying, oh yeah, I just met my late mothers in your bedroom. And like, I mean, my great grandmother had passed away before I was born. So by the age of 8, I get a indirect encouragement or information from my grandmother, my mother's mother, that there's another world out there and we can communicate with them, because I asked a lot of questions to her, but I was never really allow myself to come back to it because my mother, who was also very sensitive, decided not to use hers. Yeah. So she never said don't do it, but she never really showed me to do it. So she doesn't encourage it. She tells you a story when you ask, but other than that, she stay quiet. And she kept everything in her body. She sees things because my mom could see things and feel things. So, and then she just put this information in her body. So after the burnout, of course, the question was, what was that about? What was that about? And I then had to, I had to, through a very difficult process, I had to agree or to accept within myself that my GPS is not so much here, because this is filled with a lot of fears and a lot of stories,
Mm.
a lot of
Yeah.
worst scenarios for things. Oh my God, I will not see, my mom is
Mm.
going to die tomorrow, whatever. Like, because my mom also had this chronic illness, right? As I was growing up. After the burnout, I had to realize, I had to go back and to see different patterns that had happened. Until then, I realized actually, I would actually, the sound from here is the one that is actually usually brings me to really places that I've never been able to imagine. And this gives me a lot more fulfilling feelings when it comes from here
Mm.
rather than here. And then, so when I had the burnout, then I said, okay, I guess I have to come back down here, right? To
Mm.
understand
Mm. Mm.
what is that. And that's exactly what you said, that the nobody's randomly arriving in this earth. Nobody. Everybody has a plan. This is a journey of discovery, right? Like, it's not an overnight thing that
Yeah.
I decided this. It was
Yeah.
years of questioning, research,
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
meditating, all these things. So the thing is, there's no random things ever anywhere. There's no random things anywhere. And so that by definition, my life here is not random. There is a plan for this, but there's also a concept of free will, right? And I then I said, okay, so somebody knows about this plan, obviously. Who
Yeah.
is it? And and then I realized actually it's my higher self, the divine part of who I am, right?
Mm,
That knows. So since then, I started to then go in and up. So up is when I say up is more about the universe overall, but to go in is really my soul. Because because I'm a in a female form today, she knows the plan. She is in charge of the plan. So I will never get lost as long as I'm in open
mm,
communication with her. And
mm,
and she is going to nudge me when it's time to turn left. Don't continue going
mm,
straight. She will be saying,
mm,
she will be nudging me to say, now you need to rest for 3 weeks because
mm,
something needs to happen in your body, whatever. So the journey for me, that's what you're referring, I believe, what you're referring with this guide, the guidance, the inner guidance, because it's dark. Yes, when we are going through this hardship, everything is dark. And that's why there is this expression of at the light at the end of the tunnel, but then in the darkness I need to know where to go, how many steps,
yeah.
and not to hit
Yeah.
something or fall into
Yeah.
something, right? So
Mhm.
so for me, yoga, the life that has been opened up, the way of life that has opened up since my own journey of burnout, and I think is I hear the same from you, is this merging of the merging of these lines, yeah. So this higher self, the divine part of myself coming up, merging with this body, and the collaboration with the universe also. So it become one collaborative engagement between all the different level of myself.
Mhm.
So for myself, when I was, I mean, we never not be one with the universe, right? The whole journey of this healing is about me merging with my divine self, right? So then it is kind of my higher self or the wise self is in my body a lot more and take over with the decisions, etc. And I just go and make space for her to come up and then say what she needs to say in a healing session or telling me do this, do that.
Yeah.
And also the
Mm,
merger with the movement towards the oneness with the universe, that there's no boundary at the end. There's no boundary
mm,
per se, because the boundary is just my energy field, right? So the rules, so it's moving towards this space where I don't have to tell people too much, because the energetic space that I have is going to tell their energetic space what is acceptable and not. But that's the progression, right? And this comes from this merging of different parts of you. And suddenly when you are merging, when you are merging with the all that there is, then you start realizing how multidimensional you are. And then you're like, okay, now I get it. My soul is so huge because it goes into, you know, it's connected to something bigger than our own solar system, for example,
mm.
right? So this doesn't happen overnight, by the way. so, but but the journey
Of
for me
course.
is about
Yeah.
exactly. This
Yeah.
is about the merging of
Yeah.
the embodiment of my divine self, right? Because I
Mm,
have a vessel. This is a vessel, right? And this vessel
yeah.
has a personality, right? So
Yeah.
so then to and with the merging of this, the divine me and the 3D me, there is a continuous shedding of this part needs to stop so this can come up, this needs
Yeah.
to go, and this
Yeah.
is so there's a space. So so
Agree.
I
Completely.
yeah, so this is how I see it in my journey, and I think this is also what I'm hearing when I listen to you from your journey.
Mm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
so does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's very beautiful to it's always a good reminder um to me, maybe for all of us, that we are not separate from the universe. We are a part of the universe as always. I am that, right?
Yeah.
Um, we are always a part of
Yes. And this is, I
it.
can tell you how powerful it is. The more
Mm,
you embody your divine self, the faster, the more powerful you are in creating your reality. That I can confirm, right? Because I notice I have this intention, like you, we have an intention to live. Every morning I say, okay, I am this, I am that. It's not necessarily what I do, but what I am, right? So I said, I am love, I'm unconditional love, I am light, I am an embodied divine self, or I am abundance, or I'm innocence, whatever. Like I have, and this doesn't come in one go, right? It started with something, and then when you go through a transformation, then another sentence come in, because and it's not like I'm looking for it. It just came because my higher self say, okay, now you embody this. Okay, so I say that, and then there's another there's another shedding happening. Because I need, if I embody a certain quality, then some things that I have still have needs to stop, right? And then you go through this for a cycle, and then another one or two sentences coming in. So it's like an embodiment of something, and it's the activation of something else. But what I really see is that the you don't get disturbed. You see things that happens in the reality, but you see through things too, because you have, because you, if you are
mm,
light and high in your frequency, things cannot manipulate you as much. Illusion is, you catch illusions much quicker, and you don't engage because you
mm,
know this is illusionary. The other side of this, of course, is that you become so disconnected with a lot of things, and some people also, right? Because they don't understand why you're not upset. And then they get upset because you're not upset. And you're not upset because you see what's happening, right? And you just like, but I see what's happening. There isn't, it's not, there's nothing to be upset about because I'm not engaging with that. But some people get upset. Why are you not upset about it? You see? And so then so this is happening also a lot. So it's a very engaging process. You never
mm.
stop. Never ever stop. As, and your soul, I can say for me, for sure, and I can say it also about you because I know you quite well. Our souls have high expectation of growing, okay, in this lifetime. That's the only thing.
Mm.
Yet it is also asking us to exercise free will. And this is what you're saying in
Yeah,
this call, right? Like, I choose to do this. That's you exercising the free will. Even though
yeah,
it's so difficult
right.
to live in a feeling safe or calm or whatever because of the
Yeah.
environment as a gay man, I choose to still come out to the world
Mm.
like this because this is who I am. I have no issue with it. If other people have issue with it, it's
Mm.
their issue, not mine.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
free
their
will
problem, not
exercise.
mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I just love this conversation so much, Yoga. I have two more questions, but the first
Mm.
one, bloom.
Yeah.
Take us back
Yeah.
to why bloom.
Bloom. It's just when you ask me the first it has to be to me the title of the book has to be very, very simple and snappy,
Yes.
and it has to tell a lot of things at the same time. Um, the one thing that I really like the most, and one of the mantra that I bring really close to my heart throughout this healing journey for the past 5 years is Om Mani Padme Hum. The jewel is in the lotus. I can see the lotus in your background too. Yeah, so I can imagine. So the lotus bloom um, from the mud, right? So from the place where maybe nobody wants to touch, but there's the beauty, there's the wisdom, there's the beautiful petals of the lotus. So the process and maybe it's not an easy process for the lotus flower to bloom as well, but it has to go through all the process from the mud to be able to bloom
Yeah.
when the time is right, when the time is right. And it's such a beautiful flower, and the whole process, it embodies the process of growth as well. um the life continues to move, and I hope that I can keep growing and just and be with whatever, and just simply be, actually. Just allow I'm just allowing myself to bloom.
Yes, that's beautiful. I would like to tell you a secret.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for sharing
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I painted three lotus. This is one of
Oh,
them.
right,
Yes.
yeah.
And usually I
Ah,
don't put this painting as a background. I have two other ones that I use a lot when I have clients, etc. But today I feel like I want to put one of this. And I ask which
yeah,
one. So one is still closed, the other one is opening up, and this one is the most opened. And then I said, yeah, this one. So I put it in. So this magical, right? It's magical. And this is how I love to live, Yoga. And I know this is how
yeah,
you love to live. I have chosen a life of magic.
yeah,
And this is
yeah,
one of those
yeah,
moments.
yeah, yeah.
We
I do
didn't
believe
chat.
in magic
You would,
there.
yeah, you didn't even know what questions I have for you. We agreed that we're
Yeah,
going to put in intention of a good conversation, and we're going to wait
yeah,
until the question comes. And that's what
right.
happens in the
Yeah,
conversation. So thank you
yeah,
for sharing
yeah.
that. I'm happy that I have the right background for you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So the last question.
Mm.
If you were to have to share three words that you would use to describe um, the Uplift My Life Today healing space, including me in it, what would that be?
Mm. Number one is safe. Number two is motherly. Number three is a friend.
Lovely. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
thank you
you.
again. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
I
man.
take them in.
Yeah.
Thank you
Mm.
so much for sharing. And thank you so much for sharing the three words for Uplift My Life
Yeah.
Today Healing Space and
Yeah.
me as part of this, and
Yeah.
also for sharing your
Yeah.
journey.
Mm.
I will put your contact details in case you're open for people to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And if having sessions or just having conversation in case some people are experiencing similar journey. There's no journey exactly the same, but
Mm.
to be in the
Very
presence of
unique.
right, and to be in the presence of somebody who can empathize with you is
Mm.
very, very healing. So I encourage everybody to do that. Don't hesitate to get in touch with Yoga or myself. And one
Mm.
last thing I would like to request to all of you who are listening, if you find this episode touching, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel and please share this with everybody. Please help me and Yoga and everybody that come on this podcast to share Love Wins story. Please share this. We want this to go far and we want this to touch as many people as possible. A different way of life can happen with you choosing it. And there are processes to help you if you need it. So from Zurich and from Jakarta, we would like to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of this conversation.
But yeah.
Thank you again, Yoga.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Perfect. So we both are now going to say goodbye, and I certainly will see you in the next episode. Bye.